Greetings Tarnished, FiOth here, and in this vid I'm gonna take you through all the steps required to complete the quest line tied to the Cathedral of Manus Metyr. What does that entail? We will be going through every single one of the maps. I will be breaking down the paths you have to follow, tying a specific vid that I made to take you to the Cerulean coast, one of the hardest areas of the game to find, and then I will explain each part, each segment, and in the end what you have to do to get a couple of additional items. Without further ado, let's get to it. To begin this quest, you need to find the Cathedral of Manus Metyr. You can find this in the center to center east part of the DLC area, far to the north. To get here, you have to do some legwork. Generally, what you need to keep in mind is that in order to reach this plateau, you don't go from the north, you go from the south. Specifically, you have to go through this lake and take the path north. It's quite intricate, so if you haven't reached this point, I suppose you wouldn't be looking at this guide because this guide is about this quest. I suspect that you have already been here. You just have to speak to Count and he will give you the first map. Now these maps are really out of focus, really zoomed out, and they only state I only wish to be of service. We are not gonna torture you with all this, so don't you worry, I got you covered. We will be starting here at the first map location. This is in the Cerulean coast. Once you find Mikula's Cross here, you just go south from the first grace, go past the optional boss in the lake, and then keep going. You'll see the cross in the distance. You can grab the cross, you can grab the Erdtree blessing and the grace. From this grace, you just go northward, you keep going, and this is the part that you will probably miss. You need to take a sharp right and keep going downwards towards the coast. It's a very small passage, as you can see here, very easy to overlook, and this is some of the stuff that we've grown accustomed to with Elden Ring. The path takes you where you need to be. It's the anus of an ant on the moon that you have to look at with a telescope. But we're gonna get it done, so don't you worry. Just keep hugging the left part of the coast, avoid the enemies here or kill them, whatever you want. Trace my exact steps, and as soon as we're at the grace, I'm gonna talk you through the rest of the stuff. After a short trek, we will be arriving at the Finger Ruins of Rhea. This is the first area where we actually have to locate one of the quote-unquote bells. Now, if you open your map, you'll see this huge ass grayed out area and this configuration north. Once you reach it, it will be marked on your map as a standalone area. You go there and you interact with the front of this whistle looking like finger thingy. Once you do it, you reap the rewards and this step is complete. We return to the cathedral. I am just gonna show the interaction with the NPC, not the entire additional dialogue that you can get. Word of the Wise exhausts all his dialogue after this initial interaction through his menu, so you get everything you can, purchase all his spells and move on with the second map. Again, the map looks like gibberish. You have to actually know where you need to be, and that is to the northeast, to the Finger Ruins of Tao. To reach these ruins, you have to actually explore the Shadow Keep. Exploring the Shadow Keep thoroughly will lead you to a room called the Tree Worshipping Altar, and then you have to use a specific gesture that you can find here at the north of the Bony Village in front of this altar. You perform it, the statue will move, and you can go through and initiate exploration in the hinterlands. From the hinterlands is just a straight path from grace to grace in order to get you to the ruins of Tao. Not much to it, you will be able to pull it 100%, just be careful of the elite enemies. One thing I certainly recommend you don't do is try to get to your target destination on torrent. There is a new kind of enemy here, very dangerous from afar, because they fire a stun ray that is homing, and if it hits you they teleport on you and deal a crap ton of damage whilst you are unable to do anything. So get as close as you can on torrent and then dismount and go on foot as sneaky and carefully as humanly possible. You will be able to summon ashes here. This is not a boss fight if you want to be a purist. So you can just use an ash here to draw some aggro, draw their attention away, and you can move freely. If not, just be careful, go from the side, don't storm straight to the objective, because they will see you, they will stun you, and they will eat you. As with the previous case, you find the whistle, activate it, you will be rewarded with a Cerulean Tears Amulet +1, making your recovery of focus more efficient with every usage, and off you go back to the cathedral to speak to the Count. Again, I am not leaving all the additional dialogue you can get from him in here because I don't want to lengthen the vid. Just interact with him once and he will give you the third map. It's a good idea after you get said map to just purchase all his inventory, because you will only have access to it later once you have gotten his bell bearing. If you want to have the goods right here right now, purchase them and be done with them. Interestingly enough, the map shown is the exact ground on which you're standing, the cathedral itself. So it's the Old Faithful, you go and refresh at the Grace or exit or re-enter the game. After you have refreshed, examine his throne and a secret passageway will open below it. Now I don't want to spoil this area much, I'm just gonna give you a couple of pieces of information so you don't get surprised. You are going to be invaded down here, be prepared for that, and most importantly, before the final point of your trek, take this left turn here, very easy to spot if you know it's there, and grab the cookbook that you otherwise have to retread your steps in order to grab. Once you're done, you activate the final whistle and you should be prepared for a boss. There's a summoning pool right beside you in case you need help from another player, but you'll have to fight through this boss nonetheless. Returning to the cathedral after your ordeal is done, will find Jolene almost dead where you usually found her. You speak to her and you can either give her an Iris of Grace or an Iris of Oculation. The Iris of Grace will yield her ash, the Iris of Oculation will yield her gear. According to what you're gonna get in this rotation, you pick what you want and you will be rewarded accordingly. The gear that the Count has been using will be given to you throughout the course of the events, so don't worry about it. That's it, Tarnished. Subscribe, like and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Until next time, be well, stay frosty and always strive for perfection. Cheers!